Hi guys, welcome to a small update on the Electra Mecannica Solo. It's listed on Nasdaq. It costs around $2.18, and I've already covered this company in a short video in March, so about 10 months ago, 9-10 months ago. And yeah, it was right after the shares jumped from around $1.24 or around 20 whatsoever to more than $4. And a lot of people were saying, yeah, okay, that's now the initial sign that it will go up to $20-25 whatsoever. It's a good idea to jump in now and go up and up and up. And I was looking into that, and for me it didn't look very convincing. It didn't I didn't invest, and I told everybody that I'm not recommending it. By the way, this is not professional financial advice, of course. This is just somebody talking like a normal guy on the internet, on YouTube, about his personal opinion. So if you want to have professional financial advice, talk to your financial advisor, to your bank, whatsoever. So what has happened in the meantime? It has jumped up, and as I have been expected, price went down to about 170, something like that, and it doesn't look too good. I mean, it's going up a little bit, but I mean the whole market has been going up recently. So how have been competitors doing so far? Here we had Tesla. I mean, Tesla was on the downtrend as well. They have been financially struggling, as we know. But here from 185 they went up to now 418. They more than doubled in very short time, and now things are looking better and better. And they made some profit even. I don't know how this happened. For me, still looks a little bit scammy, this profit, but Tesla is the leader. That's the lion in the market, and they are dominating. And of course, now the Solo, they want to take a share out of it, and they are getting close to mass production. And that's the question, what has happened since then, since March? I mean, now we are at the end of the year. That's always the time when people are trying to look at the past year, trying to look at the next year, maybe rearranging some investments. And so I thought I'll give a small update what has happened. So for me, when we look at the internet on YouTube first, there is a lot of internet presence, which is a really positive thing. We can see there came out with a lot of videos about fancy products like the black one, and they have had some interviews with the new CEO. Yes, they appointed a new CEO, Paul Rivera. For me, first it looked like a little bit scammy, like an exit scam, just collecting money from investors and possible buyers and then do an exit scam. But I was listening for a pretty long time in a couple of these videos about interviews with Paul Rivera, and he seems to be a really good guy. I mean, I would, if I would have to invest money into just a person, that would be probably somebody who I would definitely trust. That's a good thing. So usually I'm not too bad in getting good impression about people. And so I can say if somebody is good or bad for a company, and this guy looks to be really good. I mean, he's talking like a normal guy. He's not talking like somebody who has just sat in a big leather seat and never has been touching any screws. So he seems to be really knowledgeable and he talks like so people can understand, and yeah, he's focused, and so that's a really good thing. We have, I mean, here's in a factory where they are trying to finalize the mass production. They are cooperating with a large Chinese company, and that's a good thing. So they seem to have good partners. They also have partners regarding financing, so they can finance cars for maybe young buyers, which is a good thing. So everything, I mean, or at least a lot of things have turned really positive, I would say. I mean, they are not at the point where they can deliver these cars in mass. I mean, they have been able to deliver, I think, about 50 of these cars, and now they are looking at them, how they really do in normal traffic, and try to fix problems and so on. But of course, competitors are not sleeping, and yeah, with the latest success of Tesla, I mean, we see the Tesla Model 3, it's a small one, but it is 4 or 5 seats. It's pretty fast. It's really nice. It's a normal car. I mean, the usage of such a car is way higher than the one from the Solo, which is really, really limited, and it's just one seater with almost no storage, and yeah, really limited range and whatsoever. But of course, we see the difference. I mean, this is 35,000. We are not at the top of the possibilities. If you want to have better acceleration and self-driving whatsoever, you end up with probably around $50,000. And with the ElectraMeccanica Solo, we can start at around 15,000, which is a different thing. But it's a different car. We cannot compare this. I mean, for me, it's still an ugly car. The front has always been really nice, but the rear 50% looks for me really just super ugly, and I highly doubt the success of this car. I mean, when we look at other small electric cars like the Fiat 500e, they are mostly at around 30,000, even when they are small as well. But yeah, okay, they are double in price, but they have about 4 times the usage. We can easily load 4 passengers, or sometimes even 5, and quite some baggage. So it's a huge difference. I mean, the Solo, as far as I know, you cannot even load 1 extra passenger in case of an emergency. I mean, with every motorbike, or almost every motorbike, you have the possibility to load a passenger, but here there's no way to do that, and even for shopping there's really not much storage here. So I would compare the thing probably the most to the smart, it's called the Fortwo electric drive. Sometimes they call it just ED. The price is 23,000. It's of course it's a little bit more than the Solo, but also here the usability is much better, and it even has, I think, much more power, and it has more reach. I mean, for me, this is one of the most disappointing things. When you have such a small thing and you pay 15,000, you would at least expect some really fast acceleration, as we know it from Tesla. Tesla, even with the cheapest cars, they have a pretty fast acceleration, which you probably you can outpace most of the gas cars, but that's not possible with this one. So it just has like a fancy look, at least for some people, but it is not fast. There's not yeah, you cannot transport a lot. You are really super limited, and even the front look, the style at the front is now heavily compromised, because it looks like in the US it is considered somehow like a motorbike or a trike or whatsoever, and they had to add this ugly light in the middle. Yeah, these cars need, or this type of vehicle need, some kind of center light, and so they had to add this here. I mean, it's probably not the most ugly implementation, but still for me it is heavily compromised like that. Yeah, when we look at the third quarter 2019 financial report, we can see a few things. Yeah, they are talking about this 50 pilot vehicle production, which are now around in US, I think China and Canada. And they have established some corporations in China, new company to bring this to the market. And they have now entered this agreement, into this agreement to provide financing to consumers, which is of course definitely a good thing. And apart from the new CEO, there's also an independent director, Peter Savagian, and he seems to be really experienced also in this field, which is definitely a good thing. When we go to the financials directly, of course, revenue are like nothing. Of course, they haven't sold anything or almost anything, and research and development has increased, of course, such short time before of mass production, and of course operating loss has increased because they had to they had more expenses now because they are coming close to mass production. But still, the good thing is they have still some cash around. I think that's about what they have, 16 millions of cash. And when we think they are close to mass production, and they have used the cash. I mean, cash used in this quarter is only 2.8 million, so it looks like they have still some cash left to so it will for sure last into mass production, but there will be a lot of cost then when they come up and they have to do marketing and whatsoever. So usually these are costs which are much higher than only 16 millions to bring such a car into the market and come up with TV commercials and whatsoever everywhere. So even when it's looking at the moment not too bad, I mean, they have had really positive signs now with the new CEO and this new director, and they have these corporations in China, and they've been working on everything, and they have still their cars around, and a lot of people are saying they are interested. What does it mean? I mean, when we look at the Smart, how much they really sold. This is not a bad car, and now they have 10 years of experience. I think they came out in 2009 with the electric version of this car. And I mean, there behind that there was Mercedes-Benz, and not even they managed to turn this into a huge success. So how should the Solo be able to do that? For me, that's just not possible with such a car with such limitations, and 50%, which looks really ugly for me. That's probably not possible. I mean, we are now at the point when there will be a decision. I mean, as soon as they come out with their mass production, there will be probably a decision. Either people are buying them like crazy and there will be a success, or they will be like whatsoever, stick in the shelves, and nobody will ever touch it because they know that there are better things around where you pay just a little bit more than you get a 2-seater or 4-seater or whatsoever. And for me, the bigger thing is actually that I think the next 10 years or so, the big thing will not only be electric cars but self-driving cars. I mean, I think that's the big thing which is coming up, and in this regard Tesla has a huge advantage, and ElectraMeccanica is not even thinking about adding some kind of self-driving option, and they do not have the capabilities. That's far away from this company. So for me, that's the biggest thing. Apart from all the details, it doesn't have to do with self-driving, absolutely no option, no way to do that. And for me, that's the way to go in the next time, even when we are talking only about commuting and not about road trips or whatsoever. That's still a lot of time you can save with a car which has some self-driving capabilities. When the traffic gets jammed up more and more and you have to spend more and more time on the road, the self-driving thing can be a huge feature, and for me it would be worth much more than the difference between this $15,000 car and the Tesla, which you get for around 30 or 35,000. I mean, here we are talking about just 15,000 for the basic option, and I'm pretty sure there will be much higher priced options, and maybe then we are at around 20,000, and that's definitely too much for just a small seater, no self-driving, almost no storage, not even an emergency extra seat, no nothing. It's just too limited, and for me that still means that I'm not interested into the solo Electra Mecannica, not even at this price. For me it looks like it was just like a little bit increase because of the overall market and maybe some kind of enthusiasm about mass production, but for me the risk is too high at this moment, definitely, and I'm not investing. So, but it's just my personal opinion. And I hope I was able to help you a little bit with that. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below, and I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.